Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Stay. This is Coloring Bliss. Back on my white pillow is my little white dog Rose, and I have Steve here with me too.
Hi everybody.
And I'm so excited because this is a huge, massive, big battle we've put together for you. And I think it's going to be really useful. We get asked all the time, what is the best budget gel pen set that I can buy? And we're going to answer that question today. We have tested 20 brands. Last time we did this was 3 years ago, and we only tested 10 brands. So now we've taken it up a notch, and we're going to do 20 brands to try to find a really good budget set for you. So we'll talk about what the criteria was. We bought all these sets with our own money so we could be as impartial as possible. This is huge. I'm so excited for you. And Steve's going to create a really great blog that you can follow. The link is in the video description. Go check it out because we have pictures of all the swatch charts and all the products so that you can see everything and really compare for yourself and make the best purchase possible. We have links to everything. All of these were found on Amazon. We're so excited. Let's get started with the best budget gel pen battle. Now, to make this even more exciting, we're going to start a giveaway today. Whichever company or set wins this battle, we're going to pick 3 of you, 3 winners to win that set. So make sure you follow the link in the video description to get all of your entries in. We'll talk more about the giveaway at the end of the video because we don't know who the winner is yet. So let's go through the process of finding us a winner. Now, step 1, well, this is not step 1, it's probably step like 5, because step 1 was we went on Amazon and went shopping. And we had some criteria of the different sets that we wanted to bring in because it was really important to me that when I recommend a set of gel pens that I know it's a good set. The pens are good, it's a good... Let me tell you the criteria so that you know. All right. First off, we wanted it to be $30 or less, so the set had to come in under $30. And some of the sets needed a coupon. They had coupons available, and that brought it in under the $30. So $30 or less. We wanted each set to have at least 48 pens. It could have 120 pens, but at least 48 pens. And it needs to have a mix of types of pens. So I want to have metallics, I want to have glitters, I want to have just good standard pens, maybe some pastels, maybe some swirl type pens, but those aren't as important to me, but the other types were more important to me. Now, they also need to have high Amazon rankings. So we did all our shopping in US dollars here in the US, and we looked at the rankings that they received to make sure they got good recommendations through all of the customer comments. So what we were looking for was just a really good basic set. I also went on our group on Facebook and asked for recommendations there on sets that everyone liked, and I wrote all those down to make sure that they were represented in the 20 sets that we ended up purchasing. 20 sets, Steve.
Yeah,
you should see them. In fact, I'm going to put a video up right now of us panning down the row of all 20 sets. It was a lot, and it's been taking up a huge amount of real estate here in my art studio while we've been doing this for how many weeks have we been doing this now?
Yeah.
A lot of work. It's been so much fun, but man, it's a lot of work. So once we got all of them delivered to us from Amazon, it's time to swatch them. I wish I could skip the swatching step because I do love to swatch, but there were 1,600 gel pens to swatch. It was an epic swatching party. And even my son said, "Do you really need to swatch all those?" And even Steve was like, "Is there any way we can do this without you having to sit down and swatch 1,600 gel pens?" But no, you really need to sit down and swatch them. And let me tell you some of the reasons why. Because this gets into some conspiracies. That's what I'm calling them. Things I discovered while swatching. So it was really important and really well worth the time.
Well, and I think it's important to mention that even if we had that set of gel pens that we had purchased like 3 years ago to do the other one, we purchased them again,
all brand new.
in case they had switched manufacturers.
Yeah.
Or
for instance, last time we did this, I believe the winner was who? Was it?
Tanmit.
Tanmit. So we wanted to make sure Tanmit was represented again 3 years later to see how they would do. But I wasn't going to just assume they haven't changed their gel pens. So like Steve said, we bought all the sets brand new, so they're fresh and they're what you will end up purchasing if you decide to buy one of these sets. When I was swatching, I was checking for flow issues on each of the pens, and as I swatched, I would make a little tick if there was a flow issue on a pen, because I hate a gel pen that doesn't flow. Now, the next thing I'm looking for when I'm swatching is to make sure what is claimed on the package is actually in that set of gel pens. For instance, one of them I came across was Smart Color Art. The packaging, the Amazon description, everything said it had a variety of gel pens, but it ended up, I think it only had glitters in the whole set.
Yeah.
And there was another set that was mostly glitters and a few pastels, which don't make for a good balanced set if you're looking for a beginner set.
Right.
If you're looking for just glitter pens, that's great, but that's not what we were looking for. I also was checking to see the ease of the cap. So every single pen got uncapped, swatched, recapped. Did I enjoy that experience? In fact, I found a blister on my hand today, and I'm thinking it's from all the capping and recapping, because some of the pens are super uncomfortable and others are better, and that's going to be part of the judging that we do later. Now, the swatch charts also show the color, the variety, the intensity, the balance of the set. Was there a huge number of glitters and only a couple of metallics, or vice versa? That's what we learned during all the swatching. And first and foremost, it was my very first impression of that set. How did the pens come in and out of the different packaging? How did I feel about the experience? Did I have a good time swatching or not? That's what I learned during swatching. So do I have to swatch 1,600 gel pens for a battle like this? I think so. I learned a ton, and it really helped when it came time to do the judging on each gel pen. All right, while I was swatching, I came across some conspiracies that I need to share with you. Now, they're not real conspiracies, but they are things that we need to know. And it has to do with white labeling. What happens with white labeling is a company, say Shuttle Art or Castle Art or any of them, what they do is they reach out to a manufacturer and they purchase large quantities of sets, and then they put their labeling on it and sell it out to us. So as I was swatching, I discovered some of them seem to be coming from the same manufacturer. Not all of them. There were, I think, 3 sets of 2 that I was like, these 2 sets have the same pen names. So the inks were the same, and they just have a different branding put on the pen. Right. So that's considered white labeling. There's nothing wrong with it, but what is frustrating to me as a consumer is I don't want to own 2 sets of gel pens from the same manufacturer. I want to try different manufacturers. So we did discover some of that going on, and I'll put up on the screen right now. There are 2 sets, AEN and God Ideal, that I think are from the same manufacturer. And then I think Rayon and Tanmit are coming from the same manufacturer. And I think Lauren Wang and Cassie Exile is coming from the same manufacturer. So that's a little conspiracy for you. So basically you don't need both the AEN and God Ideal. You could buy one and have the same experience from those 2. Now I also discovered that a brand named Line On, which I thought was just another set of gel pens, is actually a Shuttle Art brand. Ooh. And it actually says, I'm going to put an image up right now that shows you, it says on there, a Shuttle Art brand. So that's not like they're trying to get away with something. But again, if I'm going to buy Shuttle Art gel pens, I don't want to buy Line On and Shuttle Art. I want one or the other.
Well, and they're not even necessarily the same. That's what's frustrating. Yeah. Shuttle Art had like 6 different types of pens or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if exactly 6, but it was several
different
Shuttle Arts
lines,
that had like different body styles and
yeah.
And so you don't really know. And so when we purchased the Shuttle Art, we purchased one that we didn't purchase last time when we did the to the thing because it had like 360.
And I didn't like that set, so I wanted to give them another chance.
So we tried a different one that seemed to be different than the others. And anyway, but it can get a little confusing.
Yeah, and so, I mean, shopping for gel pens is confusing.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping to help with. Now, another thing I discovered is sometimes the brands claim there's like 40% more ink in our gel pens versus another set of gel pens. So I'm going to put up on the screen right now a couple different brands that I stopped and looked at the amount of ink, and it was, some of them are filled up not as much, and some of them have bubbles in them. I'm going to tell you about bubbles here in just a second. Let me roll that footage. Okay, I just wanted to show, these are the brand new Arteza pens straight out of the box, how some of them have a lot less ink than others, which are a lot fuller. It was very inconsistent. And I'm going to try to pay attention if this is normal from brand to brand or if this is just an Arteza issue. So these are the brand new Castle Arts, and I'm seeing the same thing with the inks. Just a wide variety of how much it's been filled or not filled. Very interesting. Okay, I just opened up Case Exile, and they're much more evenly filled. Let's check another. Yeah, see, much more evenly filled. That makes me feel a little better about all of this. Look at all these pens. Working on the zebra swatching now and finding several zebra pens that have bubbles in the ink, which means that the lower part of the ink we can't access, so that results in just this much ink for that one pen. Not a good sign. There's another bubbly one right here. Now, if you do happen to get a set of gel pens that have a few with bubbles in the ink, what I discovered is that if you hold the pen and whip it really hard so that all the ink will flow down to the tip, it actually worked on maybe 9 out of the 10 gel pens that I tested the whip it technique on. It actually got rid of the bubbles and made it so that the ink was flowed all the way down to the tip of the gel pen. And one last conspiracy, and I don't know how this plays into anything, but up on the screen right now is a picture of a coloring book that I found, the identical coloring book in 3 different sets of gel pens. It was ZSCM, Lauren Wang, and Casile Exile. All 3 of those had the same coloring book included. Does that mean they're from the same manufacturer, or does that mean they all just went to a different manufacturer and got that same book to include? I don't know, but I thought it was interesting. All right, the next step for our testing, once everything was swatched and organized, was to put each set of gel pens through a series of tests. And for that, we have this worksheet right here. It's a gel pen 6-step testing worksheet. And I printed one off on the really good, our gel pen colored cardstock. We call it our Goldilocks paper because it's such a good paper with not too much texture, but enough texture to get the ball inside that gel pen rolling. So we gave those pens every advantage possible by putting it on good paper. And then it was time to sit down and do the testing. And this was 4 or 5 days straight of work. I can't remember. It was a lot of work to go through and test all of those. I want to show you how this is done. So we'll do this with AEN Art, this case right here. So briefly, what we do is we have all the swatching here, so that's great. And then I start filling in all the information at the top of this page. So things like number of pens, whether the refills were included, the nib sizes, the balance of the set, the cost of the set, and the per pen cost. And then we go into packaging details. For instance, this one has a canvas case, and it has a nice pull string. It's got a swatch chart here. It's got some coloring pages for us. It has refills here with a pocket where you keep the refills with the pens at all times. and then it has all the different pens. So that's one thing I kind of keep in mind, is how good the packaging is. Then we have to look at the individual pens as well in the next line. So for instance, on this one, we have the name of the company at the top. We have a grip. The body itself is very smooth, and then it has a name, Glitter Orient Red, G01. And so this is a really good example of a really good pen body. It's got grip, it has a name, it has a number, and it is even identifying the type of ink that's inside. So right off, I know when we get to pen body, unless I have problems with the posting and the caps, this is probably a 5, this body right here. All right, so then how do we do the tests? There are, looks like 6 different tests. So I'll explain to you how we do the tests as we go along. So you can see they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which helps me through the flow of taking all the different samples and the different steps I have to take. So let's start with number 1. For step number 1, I want to swatch each of the different kinds of inks that are involved. Classic is sort of a group identifier for things like pastel, neons, standard gel pens. They all fall under classic. Then we have metallic, glitter, and other. And other usually is the swirl type of pen ink, where we have multiple colors in one pen. Also on number 1, in the notes section, I make note of how the swatching of the full set went. For instance, I'll make a note of whether there were flow issues. So if there were like 6 in the whole set that had flow issues, I would mark that down there. Number 2, I really want to know how they scribble blend. This is the most general way that I do my blending. So I want to know how the inks come together. Sometimes they do good, sometimes not so good. Step number 3 is the glycerin blend. So basically we're going to do the same type of blending that we did in number 2, but we're going to prep each rectangle with glycerin, because that is another product I use all the time with my gel pens. By the way, if you want to learn more about how I use glycerin, make sure you check out the link in the video description that will take you over to the Coloring Bliss Academy, where I'll teach you how to use these amazing gel pens in your art. The smear test. This is where I do a nice big puddle of ink on the far left and then attempt to smear that ink across the whole rectangle. This is going to tell me how fast these inks dry, how juicy are the pens. I love a good smear with my gel pens. Number 5 is a performance area, where I draw several different types of lines, hash marks, dots, and lettering so that I can see how the pen performs. Does it start correctly? Does it skip? Does it pool? Are there railroading issues? That's what I'm looking for in number 5. To do test number 6, I have to fill in those rectangles with black, so I use a nice black alcohol marker and just fill in those areas. And then as I'm working along with each of the different types of inks, I'll swatch them here to see how they perform on black. Now, the vast majority of gel pens don't perform well on black, but once in a while something surprises you. It's usually in the pastels and the swirls. Those will usually perform a little bit on black. To finalize things, I have a little area at the bottom where I have final thoughts, and here's where I mark things like, if there was a coupon I got when I bought this set, how did I enjoy it? Was it fun? Was it frustrating? Was there anything that came up that I need to make a note of? That's all written down in final thoughts. All right, now I've got Steve sitting here with me, and he helps me judge because he has a good eye for all this and helps me stay honest. So we have, let's see, 5 different criteria here, and we give it a score from 1 to 5. Trying not to do like a 3.4 or anything like that.
Like we did last time.
Right, just sticking 1 through 5. And I'm not using the stars this time. We're just using numbers. All right, so the very first criteria is the set. And I have notes here I can show you real quick. For the set, we look at color variations and balance, the quantity of colors, whether the case is good quality or not, the cost, and whether refills are included. So we look here, we've got 80 pens. They come in this really nice case. Here, let me zoom back a little bit so you can see the case a little better. This is the case for AEN Art. Has a slot for all the things that we need, the refills, everything is here for this one.
Case.
So it's great. It even comes with a swatch chart and some coloring pages.
Nice.
So they really went the extra mile.
Yeah, so for that specific thing, it'd be about a 5.
Right. So then Steve and I look at the swatch chart, and we kind of look overall. Is there a yellow? Is there a yellow-orange? Is there a green? Is there a blue? Are there grays? All those types of things we're looking for in this part of the analyzing.
Yeah, so the first thing I see is I like that there are some the pastels have a decent variety of colors for lights. Since you like lights, mediums, and darks, we look at that. We look at, like you said, yellow, orange, orange, red, orange.
Oh, look at that pretty orange.
Yeah,
red. Look, these are all basics.
Those are really good. Yeah,
really vivid, good mid-tone colors.
Yeah, red.
Yeah, we
red,
even have a real red.
Violets. Blue violet. Do they have any blue violet? Yeah, kind of ish. Down at the bottom. Down there too. Violet, blue greens, and yellow greens. Okay, do they have some browns? They have some grays.
The only thing I'm seeing here is I don't like that there's way more metallics than glitters. I think I would have switched that.
Oh, that is a lot of metallics, yeah.
And there's only 11 glitters here.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe they should have dropped the swirls and done more glitters. That's being picky, but that's why we're here, is to be picky.
Yeah.
So
it's a pretty decent...
A decent set, a little heavy on the pastels. If you count swirls as a pastel, it's a little heavy
pastels, and then, like you said, metallics. So it's good colors, but a little out of balance when it comes to the others. So it's definitely not a 5.
Okay. We've got 80, which is really good. Refills are included. The price of the set is really good. It's one of the less expensive sets. Plus, I was able to put a coupon onto it. So
those are 5s. The case is 5s, but the color balance is more of like a 3, maybe even, when it comes to just way too many metallics.
So I would say a 4?
4, yeah.
Okay, so for the set, we give it a 4. Pen flow has to do with number 1, the whole swatching, so the swatch chart, the swatching, and then how it performs here. So it's number 1 and number 5 for pen flow.
Oh wow!
There were 0 out of 80 flow issues, which when you look at these charts on our blog, you'll see some of them have like 20% of them have flow problems. Yeah. So this is 100% good flowing with the swatching. Down here we had one starting issue. That means when you start the line, it doesn't quite get going until that ball starts rolling. One start issue, we've got a little railroading and a tiny bit of pooling. But these are minor issues.
It's probably about a 5 then, isn't it?
So yeah, these are some of the best, I think, as far as this criteria goes. So we'll give them a 5. Now their pen body, like I said, is awesome. We've got names, numbers, a grip. They're smooth in the hand, no really sharp edges. The caps came on and off without a problem, and they posted on the bottom without any problems.
Sounds like a 5 to me.
Yep, so we'll give them a 5 on the body. Now, inks themselves. That's this one. So we're judging shine and shimmer, vibrancy, saturation. Did they perform it all on black? Like I said, that's not a deal breaker because some of these gel inks aren't even meant to be on black. So did they blend good? That's a really important one. Yeah. And did they smear? Like I said, I love a good smeary pen. So if we look at blending, They did decent. They did better with the glycerin. That's pretty normal, but sometimes not so much. So I put down here, it was a great experience. They
so you
smeared.
The blending experience was okay?
Yep.
How's the smear?
The smearing are decent. They're not like, all of them smeared. Some of them better than others. So.
As far as the colors go, when I'm looking at the swatch chart, they're nice colors. They don't like stand out like, wow.
Yeah, this line, I'm really happy with that.
Oh yeah,
basic
that's a nice line. That's a really good one. Let me see the metallics. You kind of have to move it to see.
Metallics are down here.
Yeah, so to see how
right
metallic-y they look. And then the glitters.
And the glitters have a good shine.
Yeah. 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 They're all like overall good. I don't know that they're a 5, but maybe a 4.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I think a 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Experience. This is where I get to kind of give how I feel about it. So we put the overall set. Was it enjoyable to test? Did I like the set? Would I recommend the set? Those are the things we're looking at for experience. This one I would recommend. I mean, it's in a case. The case is built well. The pens are really good. The only thing I'm getting hitched up on is the low number of glitter pens and the high number of metallics, but that's a personal preference because we're looking for a set that has a good balance of all of the different types so you get a little experience with everything.
Man, they worked really well.
I'm kind of thinking it's a 5.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely done better than a lot of them.
Yeah, so I'm going to give it a 5.
Okay.
So then we tally it up, and then at the very end, after all 20 have been tested, we'll go back and we'll see how they all ranked. All right, now it's time to share the results of all the testing. I've got them all in order from 1 to 20, so we're going to start with the 20th place. And like I always say during these battles, remember, you can do beautiful coloring with any of these sets of gel pens. So it doesn't really matter which set you purchase. I think you're going to enjoy your coloring experience. But I do think you'll have a better coloring experience with the top, particularly the top 6. We really like the top 6. So we're going to do a parade now. We'll start with number 20, and we're going to show you the sets, we're going to show you the pens, we're going to show you the swatching, and we'll quickly go through it, and then we'll slow down when we get to the top 6 so we can talk about the winners and which ones I think you should purchase. All right, so we're starting off our parade of contenders with our last place entry, which is Smart Color Art. This one is the reason it scored so low, I'll show you its ranking here in a second, is because this is that set that I told you said that it comes with glitter, metallic, pastel, standard, neon, and all it had in it was glitter. So it automatically ended up scoring pretty low, and they had uncomfortable pens and no labeling on the pens. So, yep. They scored pretty low. And there you go. You can see the swatches. And here is the results. They scored 6. In place 19, we have Line On, or Line On is a sub-brand of Shuttle Art. So that's that set. Hate the packaging, but here are all the swatches. There's 108 colors. And they scored 7. There's all the swatches if you're curious about the colors that are included. Yep. Place 19. Next up is place 18, which is Arteza, and they come with the refills separate, so together they cost the $30 that we were looking for. And here you can see our swatches and the results. They got place 18 and scored an 8. Now, Arteza's score really surprised us that it came in so low, place 18, but in all, it didn't have good packaging. There was no labeling on the pens. They were uncomfortable, no grip. The caps were so stubborn, and they had 12% of the pens had flow issues during swatching, so they earned their place. Next up in place 17 are the Zebra Doodlers. Now, these are the ones that had the bubbles in the ink. And I had high hopes for them because they're a different design. They're just very different. But nope, they came in place 17. Here you can see all the swatches and all the tests. And basically it came down to that the pens were squeaky and creaky and the bubbles in the ink and just lots of frustrating issues with the zebras.
23% flow issues? Wow.
23% had flow issues. Next up we have Typeco, which got 16th place. Well, I'm throwing things to Steve here. This is what the case looks like for Typeco. It's great as far as it comes in a nice case, but the refills don't fit in the case, which you'll see later. There are some that the refills fit so nicely together as a group. And then the pen grip wasn't great, but it had no names and numbers on the pens, and 19% of them had flow issues. Plus it's just a little set of 48. They should have done a little better, I think. In place 15, we have another surprise, Castle Arts. I really thought they would do better, but they didn't. Let me show you really quick if I can get into the package. They come in this type of case, which I really don't like, but at least it has some sort of organization. And let me show you their swatching. 14% of them had swatching issues here on this page. Lots of pretty colors, but the inks weren't that great. There was pooling and railroading issues during step number 5. Decent experience, but major drawbacks like there's no names, no numbers on the pens. Yep, place 15. We can do better. All right, I don't know how to say it. Gunsong came in 14th place. It's in a nice big case. Let me show you what I was talking about, how some of these cases, they actually have a place for your refills, which I think is awesome. Now, because the case was so great and because it had a nice big set of 120 colors, it scored pretty high on the set. But where we lost out on things was the pen body. Really didn't like it. It was uncomfortable. There's no names, no numbers on the pens. The caps were stubborn, and this is one of those pens that had flow issues, although only 5% of them had flow issues during swatching. So not so bad, but not so great either. Let's keep going. In place 13, we have Lelix. Now, this was kind of weird that they didn't have any branding on anything. Nothing said Lelix, not the packaging, not the pens inside. So that's why it's got a sticky note that says Lelix. You get 60 pens inside. This is what they look like, but boy, did we have a lot of flow issues. 20% of them had flow issues, and we had pooling and all kinds of things going on. And these had bubbles in some of the ink centers as well, so it just didn't do that great. So the
redeeming quality was that they actually performed okay once you got blending.
We had some good smears and good blends, and that's what brought it up into place 13. All right, in place 12 we have ZSCM, and I love the case. Look at that really cool pull that they put on. When there's a canvas case that doesn't have a pull, I really notice it. Look, it had a really good place for the refills. Now we're getting a little better, and that's why this gets place 12. But one big, huge problem with this set, no metallics. And if we're looking for a basic set that has a little of everything, this one's already failing because of that. But other than that, it had some color numbers, a nice pen grip, a smooth body. There was one problem. The grips on these pens kept sliding on me, which none of the others did that. So that was interesting. Okay, that's place 12. All right, we got a big case here. This is Office Crafted. I don't know how to say it, but it's a bigger case. It has 80 pens in it. It has refills and a slot for those refills, and there was even a coloring book in there with with a slot for the coloring book. So the case itself was stupendous. We have 80 colors. Only one had flow issues, so we're getting better with our flow here on these pens. But it just needs numbers. Some sort of name and number system. That's where it really fell short, because some of the other brands we're about to show you in the top 10 have everything you want. Names, numbers, great case. We've got more to look at. This was place number 11. All right, here in front of me I have place 9 and place 10. This is place 10 right here, and Tanmit was place 9. Now, when I judged these, I didn't know about the conspiracy that maybe they had the same inks inside these gel pens coming from the same manufacturer. But when I did the tests, they came up with the same score. So I thought that was really interesting that despite me not paying attention to the conspiracy, they get the same score. But we gave the 9th place to Tanmit because it had 120 different gel pens versus the Rayon, which only had 100. So here you can see the Rayon in place 10. It scored a 19. Only 3 out of the 100 had flow issues, so it did really well. Performed beautifully. You can get some really good coloring in that set. And then here is the Tanmit. Again, they performed really well. They only had 2 out of 120 pens that had flow issues. There's all your beautiful colors if you're interested. Yeah.
And this was our winner 3 years ago.
3 years ago, Tanmit was the one that
and
won.
Rayon was second, actually.
Yeah, and I think if it had a canvas case and a little less pooling in the inks, it would have scored higher. But yeah, it's still a good set of gel pens, just not the best in this setup. All right, in front of me now we have place 7 and we have place 8. And again, I think this is one of those conspiracy theories that they are coming from the same manufacturer. One big thing I don't like about the Lanren wing is that they have their refills up here in a front pocket, and these are falling out constantly, so it's not a good permanent solution. But let me show you this case real quick. This was the most expensive set that we did, and it's a beautiful case. I'm going to do my best here to open it up and you can see how it works. And these are on Velcro, so you could actually pull it totally out of the case to color with it. So this may have been one of my most favorite cases, except for this little problem right here. If they had solved that, it would have been even better, but that's all right. So let's see, in place 8, we had, I think they're calling it Case Exile. That's what I'm going to say. And it got a score of 19. I used a coupon to get the price down below $30. And there are the swatches, and they only had 5 out of 88, so that's 6% that had swatching issues as I was going along. Now, Lanren wing, I think that's how you say that, Lanren wing. Sure. It had 12 out of 100 flow issues, so quite a few flow issues. So really great case, not so consistent gel pens, and that's why it only came in at place number 7.
And you really like the body on that one.
Yeah, that's right, because it had a color number with ID, so that means it tells you whether it's a glitter or a metallic right on the body. Had a good grip, it posted good, the caps did. Yeah. It earned its spot. All right, we have reached slot number 6, and I want to tell you that if you purchase any of these from our top winner down to number 6, you're going to have an awesome set of gel pens. Now, in 6th place, we have the score of 21, and it should be 4 of them at 3rd place.
Yeah, because they all tied.
Because they all tied with a score of 21. So the next few all are great, and you can consider them in 3rd place. The differentiating factors were the number of pens in the set and little things like some of them had better pen flow or maybe a better balance to the set. Just little differences, but we can consider them all in 3rd place. So the first one, we're calling it 6th place, but is one of the 3rd places, is Color It. Let's talk about it. All right, one thing that Color It does great is packaging. And look at this amazing box with a nice magnetic closure, and then you get your gel pen set in a really good canvas case. Let's take a really close look at the gel pen. This is what it looks like here. It says Color It on the end. Let me swing it around. Is that more? No, that's upside down. Color it on the end. And one thing that's really unique, the only set that does it, is they tell you the tip size on the end of the pen right there. And then down here we've got a name. It says Blue Wave with a number and then the branding again. So helpful. It also has the glittery body so we know in our hand is a glitter gel pen. So they are designed well, they are comfortable, the packaging is great. The only thing I wish was different with the packaging was that the refills don't fit in the canvas case, but you get to keep them in this really nice box. So I didn't really ding them for that, but maybe in the future Color It, that would be a really nice thing to do. And one other item I wanted to mention about Color It is they have another set that is all glitters. So you know, they even had a deal where you could buy this set and the glitter set together with a discount. So if you're going to go the Color It route, I think that's what I would recommend you do, is get both sets if you can splurge. Let's look at their chart, their testing here. This is the chart. Let me take that away and hand this to Steve so we can get it in the shot here. And you can see all 48 colors, glitters, metallics, and then some basics and how they performed. Well done, Color It. Now our next third place that we gave fifth place to is Shuttle Art. And you want to be really careful if you're shopping for Shuttle Art gel pens. Follow the link in the video description because we want to put a link straight to this particular set. Shuttle Art makes a lot of gel pens and I don't want you to end up with a set that isn't the one that I am recommending. So, oh yeah, let's peek inside. It's got a nice hand pull on the end. It doesn't have a pull string, which I miss, but I could just tie some yarn on there and fix that. Came with this, a nice spot for the refills right here. Let's take a look at one of the pens. This is it right here. It says metallic pink on it. It doesn't say Shuttle Art on the actual pen, but it has a name and a number. There we go, now we're in focus. So they are easy to grab the right color when you are working with them. So all in all, a really good little set. That's why it got tied for third. But like I said, we're giving it fifth place. It comes with 60 colors. It had 2 out of the 60 had flow issues, but we've got names, numbers, a really nice canvas. We got some good blending, good smearing. Yep, and I had a 5% off coupon when I purchased mine, so that's why it came down to $19.94. Our next contender is Das Kid. That's how I'm saying it. My son thinks it's Das Kid. I think it's Das Kid. Anyway, this contender is also in that third place sweet spot, but we're giving it fourth place. Has a nice canvas case with a pull tag on it. Really handy. Let's take a look at this. Look at, ta-da! So many pretty colors with a place for your refills, which is fantastic. Let's take a look at this one right here. It says Das Kid on it with a color, name, and number. And again, it has a nice end there to tell you it's a neon pen so you know what kind of pen. That's kind of important to know the kind of ink you're working with because usually like neon pens like to blend with neon. Glitter pens like to blend with glitter pens. If you try to force a glitter pen together with a pastel pen, the blending can be a little not perfect. So I really like when a company goes the extra mile and tells you what kind of ink you have in your gel pen. Okay, hand this to Steve and let's look at their chart right here. 5 out of the 80 gel pens had flow issues, so not too bad, only 6%. A little bit of pooling and skipping, again, not too bad, but we're really happy about the kind of pens, the kind of blends, the kind of smears. Look at that beautiful smear. I love a good smeary pens. So yeah, this is really great. All right, in our official third place, although we're still tying now with 6th, 5th, and 4th, this is Sioux Color. And let's take a quick look at their case. Here we are, a few extras included. You get your refills here. Look at all those beautiful colors. Let's take a close look at one of these pens right here. says Sioux color, and this one had some fun names. It's called Porcelain Blue. Has an M to show that it's a metallic, and then also a color number. A good grip. It's a nice comfy pen. Everything works really well here. Let's take a look at this where we can actually see how good they did. Look, I wrote easy twice on the blending on these, so I really enjoyed the scribble blends and the glycerin blends. They could have smeared a little better, but look how good that green classic one did. Really good smear. And some of them are even showing up on the black swatch. Some minor pooling. It said no flow issues at all during swatching. Oh, that's so awesome. They all worked the way that they should. I'm trying to see what else. It says, this left me wishing for more colors is what I wrote on here. So I really enjoyed working with the Sioux color, and that's why it got place number 3. All right, in place number 2 is Got Ideal, and I think it could have done better if we had a better case. I really hate these cases. In fact, I have a little cut here on my finger because of one of these cases, and Rose hates them. The clickingness of them she hates. So let's take a look at the pen. There you go. We've got a nice grip. We've got the body is sparkly to show it's a glitter, but then it also says that it's glitter, and then it says the name, Paste the Red. That's a cute name. And then it's got a number too. So it really hits all the boxes when it comes to what we're looking for in a pen body. Let's take a look at the testing now. Oh, they really need to, I think that's what I wrote, is they need to put a canvas case in there and that would help them probably get into a higher ranking. So Got Ideal had 80 colors, 0 of them had flow issues. Can't ask for better than that. It did have no true red, or it didn't have a true red. Some that got close, but if you look over these colors, there's no real red in there. That's kind of weird. Almost no issues with pooling. There was one tiny little issue, and yeah, it just worked really good with the blends. Look at that really pretty blend I got there, and we got some beautiful smears. Really good. I think that's just really falling short with the case, but other than that, Got Ideal is really good. Now the inks in the Got Ideal I think are the same inks as the winner. So I think the difference between place 2 and place 1 came down to packaging, but let's look at it and see if that's the case. One other thing I wanted to mention is that this set is only $16 here in the US as of May 2024. That's a really good cost. If you factor in refills, that's only 10 cents per pen, per color. That's really good. All right, and here is first place, AEN Art. And I've got to admit, when I swatched them, back when I was swatching 1,600 gel pens for this test, I could tell that these were special, and I had a sneaking suspicion they would do really well. I didn't know they'd get first place, but I am really excited to tell you that they swatch beautifully. This is the case here. It has a pull cord on the zipper. The zipper works so great. We've got a swatch chart included, plus some coloring pages here in this nice elastic.
A nice loop to keep them in place.
And look, a perfect spot for our refills, so they're always together and they don't fall out, and then they open up to reveal all these beautiful colors. So pretty. Let's take a look at this one right here. I'll bring it up close. It's got a grip on it. It says AEN Art on the end, and then it's got a color, metallic, so it tells you what kind of ink you have in your hand. Purple M13. So everything I want in a gel pen as far as the body goes is here. It feels good. There's some of the other gel pens have a really sharp edge right here. This one doesn't, and again, no sharp edges here. Holds good in the hand. Again, I love that it's in a good case. You know what's really cool, you guys? This whole set only cost me $19.43. Now, it did come with a 10% off coupon at the time, and that's what brought it down to $19.43. So watch for coupons on this set because you can get them. So nice. Now let's take a look at their worksheet and their swatches. 0 out of 80 of these gel pens had flow issues, so they all flowed out of the box first time beautifully, and we got some good colors. We have some true red. This line right here I'm especially excited about. I think they called it their basics, and it's got just some really good strong midtones. Look at that beautiful yellow, orange, red, really good. And then we get into the neon colors. There's a couple that are kind of close in color, which, you know, they could have done a little better there, but I'm just being picky now. And here are their beautiful metallics and glitters. Now that's one thing I think it's falling short on, is it only has 11 glitter gel pens. So if you are a huge glitter gel pen fan, this set's going to not be as exciting to you as maybe some of the others, but lots of metallics. So if you want to play around with metallics, they're there for you to play with. I'm trying to get them to shine and shimmer for you in the light so you can see how good they look. Those glitters are beautiful.
Which is why on the scoring they only got a 4 for set. Otherwise they would have had a 5.
Yeah.
But it was just that balance.
The balance of types of gel pens. So yeah, this one scored the highest, didn't tie with anyone. It got a 23. Look at, they show up on black. There was one starting issue. That means that first stroke didn't come out perfectly. Some ink came out, but not just a beautiful flow. So again, we're being really picky here. A little railroading. If you don't know what railroading is, that's when you pull the ink through pull the pen nib through the ink. Sometimes it causes the ink to split into 2 teeny tiny little lines, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but that's what that circle right there is talking about, is railroading. And then no pooling issues. Pooling is when you do a straight line and little blurps of ink come out even though you're doing a nice straight line. So really great performance, great blending. You know, great here with the smears. All in all, it was a great experience for less than $20. I mean, our goal was to hit $30, something that would be under 30. So that's for 20 bucks. You can get a really good starter set with consistent inks, beautiful packaging, great thought out color names. I mean, it's all there in this one set. So well done, AEN Art. All right, so now you know it. The winner of the battle of the best budget gel pens in May 2024 on Amazon is AEN Art. And what is so cool is it's just a $20 set. I'm so excited about that I can tell you that it's under, well, it was under $20. It was $19.
No,
and
one caveat is I think you got a 10% off coupon.
Right. So with the coupon, it's under $20. So we were talking just now about the giveaway, and we were originally thinking of just giving 3 away. But because it's a $20 set, we want to give away 5 of them. So that means we need 5 winners. Follow the link in the video description. There are lots of ways to enter, and it officially begins, our giveaway, May 29th, 2024, and will end June 19th, 2024. And the winner will be announced June 20th. And this is where I have to do the scam alert. Scam alert. Sometimes we get scammers that come on when we do giveaways, and what they're looking for is your money. When we do a giveaway, we never ask for money. We pay for shipping and we pay for the product. So if you get contacted before June 20th or not via our personal email, that's a scam and they want your money. So hide them, delete them, block them, all that good stuff, because they are not us. All right, so good luck to everyone. I'm so excited to give 5 of you this amazing set. And we've got some really fun gel pen videos lined up for you over the next few weeks. Remember, if you want to learn how to color with gel pens, how to blend with them, how to create beautiful effects, you can even paint with gel pens. If you want to learn all of that, we have a 4-part coloring workshop series that is for you, and it's part of the Coloring Academy. So for just $15 a month, you get access to the entire Coloring Academy video library, which can teach you color pencils, markers, gel pens, and all kinds of other media. It's all there waiting for you. Please come support us at Coloring Bliss. And don't forget while you're here to like this video and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on future giveaways and you can see all the products we review and the different things we teach. There's so much here at Coloring Bliss and we need your support, so hit that little subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot about gel pens, about brands, about how to shop savvily. Savvily on Amazon. Thank you so much. Comment below, are you going to purchase any of these gel pens and which set are you most interested in? I'm so excited. Good luck everyone with the giveaway. Thanks again for watching and I hope you all have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye everyone.